go. Welcome everybody to Tzama Nafshi in Romema. Today we're going to do the Modim prayer in the Shemoneh Esrei. Ezrat Hashem. Okay, let's take it away. Lauren, want to start?
Okay. Modim anachnu loach, she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Eloheinu li'olam va'ed. We thank you because you who are our God and the God of our fathers forever. Sur Hayenu, you are our rock. You're the rock of our life. Hayenu,
Right.
Rock of our life.
Right. Smichus.
Okay. Mogen Yishenu Atahu. What's Yishenu?
Again, Yishenu. From the what's the shorsh over here? Yud Shin Ayin. Yeshua.
Our hope.
Yishenu. You're the shield of our salvation.
Salvation. Okay. Okay.
Yeshua.
Mogen Yishenu Atahu. You are the shield of our salvation. L'dov Dor in every generation. Nodeh L'cha. We thank you. U'nesaper tilasecha, and we say in our tefillah.
Saper, we will. Saper
is to speak, to say,
is to
sipur, to tell a story.
Right. Tehilasech, nesaper tehilasecha. We have a Victor Miller here in this whole prayer of Modim. He says that it's a good idea. A person should think of one thing that he's thankful for that happened to him either today or the other day, or something that's on his mind, and it'll give him more of a focus when he says the Modim. But here you see that this seems to be what it's saying, the Saper. Like we'll tell over. When somebody feels thankful, he tells over to somebody else what happened to him. Nesaper tilasecha. We will tell over your praise about what you did for us that we are thankful about.
Al Hayenu, on our lives. Hamasurim Yodecha, that are in your hand, that are resting in your hand.
Masur, what's Masur? Given over into your hand. What's it mean into Hashem's hand?
That we rely on Him to provide for us.
He's in His control. Our lives are in His hands. They're in His control. He controls He has that key to our life. He's the one who determines how long until 120. Masurim biyadenu. So while we have that life, we're Modim. We're
thankful for it.
Yeah. Now another thing is that the word Modim, we know it also means to acknowledge and to admit to something. He's Modeh. We say Modeh b'knas potter.
Right.
He makes an admission of his liability. He'll be exempt from the payment of the knas. So we see this word modim is thanking. Really, that's really the bottom line of thanking, is that we are acknowledging that someone else has done us something that we received something from them. So that's what we're doing over here. We're acknowledging and admitting all the good that we have received from Hashem. Okay, so that's Al Chayenu. That's the first thing. Al Chayenu HaMesurim B'yodecha.
V'al nishvasenu hapikudos lach, and on our souls that you have entrusted to us, or we have entrusted to you.
That we're entrusted to you.
Okay.
That could be referring to the fact that every night when we go to sleep, the soul goes upstairs, and Hashem, Bezrat Hashem, returns the soul together with the goof in the morning, and that's why when we say in the morning when we get up, we say Modani Lefanecha. Check. What does it say? Modani Lefanecha. I acknowledge Hashem and thank Melechai B'Kayam Shechazata Bi Nishmosi. You have returned to me my neshama. V'chemla. With you've had pity on me to give me another day. Rabba Munasecha. Your faithfulness and trustfulness is very great. So this could be what we mean over here. Nishmosenu hapakudos lach. That's an elaboration of what we mean when we say Al Chayenu HaMesurim B'yodecha. Because that in fact is so every single day. That is so. Okay. Al Nisecha.
V'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu. What's nisecha?
Nisecha. What's Nisecha from the word nes?
All the miracles that you do to us, that are with us.
Al Nisecha.
That are with us.
Shebachol yom imanu.
That are with us every day.
Every day we have miracles. Every day we have miracles. That we not necessarily open, revealed miracles every day, but certainly hidden miracles every day. Al Nisecha. That things that are clear that they're from you. It happen to us every day. Nisecha. Yeah, it's interesting. Nisecha.
We're greeting you here.
Good morning, Roy.
Good morning. If it wasn't for the garbage trucks. Well, we've been here 10 minutes earlier.
Huh.
I was looking for that one uphill ship that didn't
Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah, this is interesting. Nisim happen to us every day. We're doing the Modim prayer. Okay, so the Al Nisecha B'chol Yom Imanu. So Nisim are B'chol Yom. Every day there are nisim that happen imonu with us, not just in the world somewhere, but imonu that happen with us. Okay, so that's one thing, nisim that happen with us every day. And let's go further. Wow.
Yeah.
Niflos.
What's niflo?
Niflos comes from the word pella. What's a pella? Pella is something that's out of the ordinary. It's really something extraordinary. Removed.
Unusual?
Yes. Right. So niflo secha. Your wondrous things that are yours, Hashem, because you're the one who is the source of these wondrous things.
And your goodness.
Toivoseh.
Your goodness. Your good.
Right.
Shebachol Eis at all times.
So this is even not just every day. It's b'chol eis. This is from at all times. At all times.
Erev Rocham Tzarayim, evening, morning, and night. Evening, morning, and afternoon or mid. Okay. Hatov, this good, ki lo kulu rachamecha. Because lo.
Hatov is a reference to Hashem.
Right.
He is the good one, with a capital
G.
Yeah, with a capital Hey. Hey Hayadiyah.
Right.
The source of and the ultimate and the epitome of Tov. That gives Tov. Lo chalu rachamecha. And really we should say lo chalu. The accent is on the second part, not on the chaf. Lo chalu rachamecha. Chalu is to be used up or to cease. Lo chalu rachamecha.
Your mercy should not cease.
It does not.
Yeah.
You are the epitome of Tov Hashem. For your rachamim does not cease. It has no end to it. It never gets used up. You have endless rachamim. It keeps on and keeps on without any break.
So it's I'm just trying to figure just how to parse the sentence. Hatov kilo chal rachamecha.
Right.
You are good because there's no end to your mercy. The hamerachim in your mercy.
This is also
and you are merciful.
You are the epitome of rachamim. The one who you are the one who gives rachamim of all the creatures in the world. You're the source of it, and you are the ultimate merachem, the one who shows mercy.
There is no limit to your chesed.
Right, tamu is also similar to the word chalu, except that here the accent is on the first. Kisamu. Tam is to cease. Lo tamu. It doesn't cease.
Your chesed does not cease.
The chesed doesn't cease.
Is tamu related to tamid?
Well, maybe. If you, tamid is with a daled. And here it's just tam.
There's a first two letters of the same. And the idea seems to be related. One of the same family, anyway. Either the second or third cousins.
So, right, tam is really like the word, like Yaakov Avinu, ish tam. He's complete. There's nothing, so tamu is like to be completed. Lo samu, it doesn't complete. You Hashem are the epitome of rachamim, and your chesed never is completed. It's continuous.
Me'olam kivinu lach.
Me'olam kivinu lach.
Forever. Kivinu is that what?
What's the difference between me'olam and le'olam?
Me'olam is from forever.
Right.
And le'olam is to forever. Now me'olam is almost like from the past till now, and le'olam is from now into the future.
Right. As far as you want to go back into the past, kivinu lach. And that's a past tense conjugation. Kivui, what's the word? Like kavei al Hashem. What's it mean, kavei al Hashem? Hazak v'yametz libecha v'kavei al Hashem. Kivui is an expression of in English. They translate it generally into English as hope, but it's not simply hope. It also has the connotation of emunah and bitachon, more than simply hope. Hope is, I hope that this will happen. But
I trust. It's almost a trust. It's a trust. I trust it will happen.
Yeah, it has a emunah and a bitachon behind it. Kivinu, I'm expecting, I'm awaiting it, because I expect it. Kivinu lach.
Forever we have expected this from you.
We have hoped to you. We have looked to you for rachamim, for chesed, for Yeshua. Look at all the things that we said in this prayer that Hashem does. He does. He's Magen Yishenu. He is Hashem Elokeinu. He's Elokei Avuseinu. He's our God. Tzur Chayenu. He's the rock of our life. And so He is the one who we look to for all manner of good and all manner of salvation, all manner of assistance. Me'olam, as far back as we can think, the beginnings of the history of the Jewish people. Kivinullah, we have hoped and trusted in you, that you will provide for us, you will do for us, you will help us, you will protect us. Okay, so that's that is what it means. That's what it means. Just one. I'm not going to take time to look up the Mishnah Berurah here right now, but the Mishnah Berurah says that we know that in halacha that in the Shemoneh Esrei we have three parts of the Shemoneh Esrei. We have the first part, the second part, and the third part. Right? The first part is Shevach. Shevach, praise. That's the Avos, the Magen Avos, and the first three prayers, you are Mechayim Mesim, you're Kadosh. That's the praise of who Hashem is. And the Mishnah Berurah says that a person has to be paying attention to what he's saying, at least in the first of those three paragraphs, because otherwise there's a big question about whether he's fulfilled his mitzvah of tefillah. So he has to be very careful to pay attention, at least until he says Mogen Avram. Right? Mogen Avram. That's the...
Yeah, into the first part.
Right. The first bracha called Avos. So, very, very important. Okay, good. What else? What other part of the tefillah does the Mishnah Berurah have? Emphasizes very, very important, and he even has a question about if he didn't have kavanah when he was saying it, perhaps he's not Yosef. Right here, this Modim prayer. Modim. That's how important saying Modim is.
And what about the part that we say when it's repeated?
Okay, so we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that also.
Also, I want to ask a general question, which perhaps is not for answering now. I'm not too sure. It's exactly what you mean by paying attention to it, because I sort of...
Okay, so paying attention means there's really two elements of paying attention. Good question. Paying attention to what? You're paying attention, number one, to the fact that you're standing before Hashem, and He's listening to you pray. Know before whom you are standing. You're not just standing in shul somewhere with a prayer book, saying words. You're standing before Hashem. You're like in the Kodesh HaKadoshim with Hashem. Number one, you have to have that. You should have that kavanah. Paying attention to the fact that you are now speaking to Hashem, and Hashem is listening to every word that you say. Number one. Number two is the meaning of the words. You're paying attention as you say the words, what the meaning of those words is that you're saying. Pirish and milos. So that assumes that you know what the words mean.
In other words, what we've just been saying the last few minutes.
Right.
Not so much say that Modim means thank you, but what we mean by saying that.
What we mean by saying that.
Instead of, I can look at the English translation, but that's not what you mean. Gratefully thank you. If I say Modim ani, Modim anachulach, all right. So if I say that in English, I don't know what it means. Okay. So I look at the English, so I see what it means. The English translation, but that can't be what you mean by understanding what you're saying, because that's just the words. It's not understanding what I'm saying. I've got to understand what I mean by saying that we gratefully thank you, and understand, right or not, or what? You know what I mean? Got to understand what the significance of what we're saying, like we're analysing just now.
So that's right. That's called paying attention to what you're saying. Not only, yes, I know what these words mean, but I should be thinking about the significance of what those words mean to me, and I should be feeling those words. if I'm saying words of thanks, that means I should be feeling thankful also. That's why I said before, and I guess it bears repeating again, Rabbi Victor Miller Zatzal made a very important point over here, an eitzah that will help us pay attention to what we're saying. If we personalize the prayer, how do we do it? We think about something that happened to us today, or maybe it's the yesterday or the day before, that we we really noticed, and we said, we may have even thought at the time, thank you Hashem, that for this that happened, or for this that didn't happen, or for whatever it is that we feel thank you to Hashem. It may be a big thing, it may even be a small thing, but it's something that we recognize that Hashem did for us, and we appreciate that Hashem did that for us. And when we say these words, Nodelecha, Unasaprati Lasecha, we thank you Hashem, and we will relate your praise. We have in mind that that thing that happened to us, and that will give us more, keep us more aware of the fact that we should be thankful to Hashem when we should be thankful all the time. But here, this is that's the whole subject of this prayer. To the words are supposed to all tefillah is like this, right? The words are supposed to be ma'orer, awaken within us these insights and feelings and acknowledgments and recognitions. So that's the eitzah that he gives to really think about and remind yourself of X happened or Y didn't happen. Baruch Hashem. And we think about that when we say.
Well, that's actually the easy part. The harder part is the first thing you said. Know before whom you stand. That one is I can't even try to put that in place.
This is what Reb Chaim Brisker says is the essence of tefillah. These two elements, and at least in the first bracha that everyone agrees is ma'akev, that we have to be paying attention and aware of what we're doing when we say those words of the first bracha.
Yeah. Maybe we did that.
Right, Roy has a good question. How do we, it's hard to know Hashem. I mean, we just, it's a concept beyond our comprehension.
Okay. But
I mean,
even though we don't know exactly the essence of Hashem, because Hashem is Hashem, and we're
just basar v'dam.
We're just basar v'dam. So just like a stone can't know anything about what a plant is. A plant can't know anything about what an animal is. An animal can't really appreciate in its consciousness what a person is capable of. So we can't really know Hashem because he's in the next category, or maybe 3 trillion categories above us. But nevertheless, we can perceive how he relates to us in this world.
Right, we can understand aspects of him. We can see aspects of chesed that he does to us and goodness that he does to us.
Right.
But
that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. We see that Hashem is Tov. We see Hashem is Hamarachim. We see that he is that he relates to us like Av Harachamim. That is what we that is what we're working on inculcating within ourselves, that He's involved in our life, and He's leading us along the way. Do we have to understand His essence in order to appreciate those things? I don't think so. I don't think so. We know that it's enough to know that He's mi'al me'aver. He's over and above anything that we could imagine, and that's why He's capable of doing all this, all these innumerable chasadim and acts of righteousness to all of mankind that we see. So that's what this is what tefillah is. Someone who doesn't daven, a person who doesn't, who's not sensitive to the fact that there is a creator who is involved in his life. So that's a, he obviously doesn't. His life is completely different. He doesn't have any of these insights, none of these understandings, none of these feelings at all. We're trying to inculcate in ourselves these feelings, because when we look out in the world, when we see we look at with our eyes what we see, it looks to us like, oh, the reason that this happened is because of that happened, and that's what the newspaper said, and this caused that, and that caused that, and this, right? Really, it's all a bunch of baloney. It happened because it was a gezer of Hashem. That's the ultimate reason why it happened. And so, Hashem is definitely involved. Hashem is definitely here, and He's doing. So we're trying to. Every time we step up to say Shemoneh Esrei, we're trying to reinforce and strengthen in ourselves this emunah. This emunah that yes, Hashem, you are the one. You're the source of life. You are the source of health. You're the source of parnasa. You're the source of all the things that happen to us. Not all the other things that people think, that don't have any awareness whatsoever about Hashem. This is what we're trying to do. It's something which is a lifetime's task, because there's many different levels of awareness of this. But this is what we're working on when we daven.
But even at the lowest level of trying to feel Hashem is in front of you, that's terrifying enough.
It should be.
So, you don't really want to go there, because it's it's something that would drive you crazy if you dwell on it.
Well,
from what I can understand, it's a concept that's.
But Hashem is so good, you don't have to be terrified that you can't.
I don't know. Well, I do, because I know what I've done wrong. So
You worry about not living up to expectations.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's much easier for me to.
That's a better position to be in. The truth of the matter is, than not to be worried about it, and not to be concerned about it, or not even to believe that you have any obligations. Right? Many people walk around not feeling any obligation at all to anyone or anything, not only to Hashem. So we know that this is not so. So, but yeah, ask Hashem to give you strength, to not be terrified of Him. So terrified that you can't open your mouth and you can't can't walk
Not a matter of
around.
opening your mouth, it's a matter of opening your mind and your heart. And it's like jumping off a cliff. Well, I don't know, I've never done that. You don't want
It's
to.
not something I try without some support.
I mean, think of what it's like if you have to, if you're standing in front of, if you're seeing sort of the Queen or something like that, or you're standing in front of a huge audience and you get stage fright. I mean, I think you can, all of us can relate to something like that. That's just
Okay.
that's just sort of the most minuscule of minuscule things that you can feel when you're trying to think of Hashem being in front of you. And even then, if you manage to do that, you have no idea of what you've got in front of you. It's like sort of having I don't know, having having something in front of you that might go boom at any time. But you don't even appreciate that. I reckon I'm far better off just saying it to Phyllis and hoping for the best.
Too scary to think about.
Yeah, you see, it's one thing to talk about it, nothing to actually put it into place. So as I said, the easy part is understanding what we're saying. That's easy enough.
Okay.
Even at the Kabbalistic level, it's easy enough.
Okay.
But the first part, know before whom you stand. Yeah.
That is the scary part.
Yeah, that part is something that I mean, so the Rabbanim themselves took a few hours to prepare themselves. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not capable of doing that. I'm not even capable of concentrating for that amount of time. And if they were able to do that, I'm sure they didn't even get a minute of the part there anyway, being human.
That they didn't what? Sorry?
They didn't get even a minute of the part of the way of actually sort of understanding that Hashem's in front of them, and they're greater than us.
Okay. So let's see, where does this leave us, Roy?
It leaves us with a siddur in our hands that we feel we're grateful to have the guidance of saying something to Hashem.
Okay.
And even sort of thinking, I'm saying this to you, Hashem, but not going very much further than that, because if you did, you'd find yourself in the loony bin.
Oh, I have an idea. Maybe picture that you're sending Hashem an email. Right? Everybody knows what emails are, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, it's not so personal. It's sort of like, you know that the person's going to, I mean, it's a good possibility he may read it, right? Not throw it out into spam or something.
Okay, so what about that song,
And so-
Hashem is here, Hashem is
so
here,
you have
Hashem is everywhere?
to, so you have to realize that, what you're saying is going to get back to Hashem. So that's the, maybe that'll be enough to just
But almost,
so that you don't get too
but that's the
that you
scary
don't
part.
fall down in fright.
But that's the scary part of it. Is you
Yeah.
know it. You know Hashem is going to hear it, and if you don't do it right, what happens?
what happens? You step back and then you
Alright,
that's
what
the end of the
about
dam, and then you walk out to the shul. What do you mean? You know what happens. How many times has that happened?
Yeah. What about you want to send an email to your wife because you want to, but because you're too scared to approach this whatever it is. You've had an argument. So you don't know how your wife is going to accept that email or read that email. Have you made a mistake in the phrasing of it or whatever? I mean, that's scary enough. But to Hashem,
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can even send an email to Trump. You never know what might happen. They might hit your front door in the next few seconds if you didn't say it right. To Hashem doesn't even bear thinking. It does bear thinking, but it does. Yeah. Okay, so you get the. I may not have said it very well, but you get the general idea.
Oh, you said it very well. Okay. Okay.
If I say thank you to Hashem because I got the bus on time for once, then I mean that's fine. I just said it, but I'm not going to go any further in thinking of what I've just said means, or where the thought is going, and anything else about it.
Okay.
I would like to. I might actually think about those things for a while until I get stumped. And then I'm grateful that I'm stumped because I realise going any further, as I said, I end up in some sort of asylum.
Uh-huh.
But even when we see the Chesed Hashem,
Yeah.
the Chesed that Hashem does to us, and we recognize, even retroactively, all that he has done.
Okay.
Even to be able to properly thank him, and, maybe beyond our abilities.
Sure. That's what we say in Nishmas.
Yes.
Every Shabbos morning. We can't thank you even for one of the billions of tovas that you've done for us and for our forefathers.
I think
Right.
we just hope that whatever we say, it's going to be accepted and understood to be the best we can do, considering our frailties individually.
Okay, right. We do the best we can. That's for sure. Do the best we can.
So what about the response bit?
Okay, so now here we have something that we don't really have in any other part of the prayers. With regard to every other part of the prayers, we have a chazan. The chazan repeats the same exact words that we said in our own Shemoneh Esrei, and that goes back to the time when we not everybody knew all the prayers. We didn't. Not everybody had a book that had all the prayers in them, and the chazan would be motzi the tzibur in the words of the Shemoneh Esrei. But here, by this prayer of Modim, we have a whole. While the chazan repeats the same words that we said in our silent Shemoneh Esrei, he repeats the same words aloud. But we don't simply listen to what he says like we do all the other prayers. We are supposed to say the Modim de Rabbanan. during the time that he says what he says. How this works halachically, I'm not exactly sure, because we're supposed to listen to everything that we hear the Chazan say, and how can we sort of like listen to him and also say our own modim? It's sort of like the same thing. Birkas Hamazon. If you have three men and one person leads the benching, what's it mean he leads the benching? He's supposed to say the benching so that the other two can hear. They're supposed to listen and say amen. Well, they're also benching at that time. So apparently it's some type of a combination that we say these words and we're also listening to. I don't really know. It's a good question. But in any case, let's leave that on the side. That's not the point over here. But just what the point is that it certainly would seem that that Chazal or Anshe Knesset Gedola, who devised the prayers, actually when was this inserted? This Modim D'Rabbanan. This do we say D'Rabbanan? This speaks the fact that it was not part of the prayers of the Anshe Knesset Gedola, of the Shemoneh Esrei. Shemoneh Esrei was composed by Anshe Knesset Gedola, men of the Great Assembly, at the beginning of the second Beis Hamikdash. The Modim, it says Modim D'Rabbanan, which because it's a combination of different prayers that was said by the different Tenoim and Amiroim, I believe. This is a Gemara. Maybe we'll look at this Gemara tomorrow in Sota. Here's the Shulchan Aruch also. There's Mitzayin over here. We'll see maybe what it says over there. But it's unusual, and it certainly belies the importance of saying Modim. That we have two Modims to say, in other words. During every tefillah, we say the Modim in the silent prayer, and then we say the Modim D'Rabbanan during the repetition of the prayer by the Chazan. Okay, so let's see what the difference is. What are we saying different in Modim D'Rabbanan that we said in the Modim that we say in the Shemoneh Esrei? So Roy, you want to lead us off? Modim Anachnu Lo. Starts off the same.
And do you want me to translate what they say here, or leave it to you to translate?
Yeah, you could translate.
I can see it. Modim Anachnu Lach. We gratefully thank you. Ki Atah Hu Hashem Elokeinu Others say, you are Hashem, the God of our forefathers. And that's where it stops, isn't it?
That's where it stops. We don't say the Olam Vo'ed like we did in the first Modim that we said in the silent prayer. It was exactly the same, except that in the Modim of the Shemoneh Esrei, silent Shemoneh Esrei, we finish off by saying the Olam Vo'ed. And here we don't say the Olam Vo'ed for some reason. But then we go on to another point.
Okay, Kol Basar.
Okay, Kol Basar.
Of all flesh.
Not only are you the Elokeinu, we the Jewish people, and Elokei Avuseinu, and also of our forefathers. It doesn't start with us. It started back with Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, all the way down. Elokei Avuseinu. Not only that are you Hashem, but you are also. But that gets the first billing. But after that we say Elokei Kol Basar. You are Elokei Kol Basar. Basar is every creation that has basar. That would include other human beings that are not part of the Jewish people, but they are human beings. They would be called kol basar.
Even animals or not? I don't
Does
know
it include animals?
Why not?
I don't know what it means. I mean, I can understand what it means, God of other people.
Right.
Okay, that's...
What does it mean, the God of an animal?
Yeah. I don't know what it means. I don't know if I'm asking a stupid question.
No, that's a
The
very...
creator, the God as a creator of all flesh.
But that's
God.
the next one. The next thing is Yotzer Bereshit, the maker of all creation.
Yeah, what in other words, Elohim signifies hashgacha. There's a certain providence. There's a certain providence that Hashem has. He has hashgacha pratis over Klal Yisrael. He has a general hashgacha also over the other nations as well. Is there hashgacha of an animal? There is also hashgacha of an animal in a certain general sense. It could be that it's also referring to animals as well. If that's so.
Well, when we use the word God, what do we think? We think of some supreme being who has control of us, created us, has control of us.
Right.
So, he's of all flesh. If we say to all flesh, then we're excluding the vegetation and all that stuff. But all flesh is obviously all creatures, no matter whether animals or humans or birds or whatever, because Hashem created them, and Hashem has control over them. So yes, he's got responsibility for them. He's the one. If it was possible for a cow to have some understanding of the world, today then it would sort of recognise Hashem. I don't know if a cow does recognise Hashem, but anyway, he should.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's. I think we could say this.
So why
Kol basar would also refer to animals. Hashem is Elohim over the animals too. Yeah.
So why is it over flesh, not over all things, like rocks and trees and water? That's left out, isn't it?
Oh, so now we're going to go to the next stage.
All right. Kol basar, Yotzeinu Yotzei Bereshis. God of forefathers, God of all flesh, our moulder, the moulder of the universe.
Yeah, Yotzer signifies that there was nothing here, and he created a world when there was nothing that was here. He's the Yotzer. There's nothing other than Hashem who is the Yotzer.
When we say the universe, what do we think of? We don't think of living things, do we? We think more of the stars and the eternity and comets and stuff like that. No?
Well, here we're not saying that we're saying that he's not Elohim over all of the things that he created in the universe, but he's the Yotzer, certainly the Yotzer of all of them, right?
And he's not the Elohim because inanimate objects don't need an Elohim.
Yes, they do, to be created.
Well, that's Yotzer.
That's Yotzer.
That's Yotzer.
Yotzer takes
they're
care
created.
of that.
They don't, And Elohim implies some sort of a relationship. Okay, so there needs to be some level of das involved in the relationship. It's not.
Okay, so the stone doesn't have much dust, probably more than I have, but the stone hasn't got dust, but a camel has.
Some level, you know.
Yes, a certain level, yeah. Okay. Brachas, v'hadaos, v'shimecha, v'hadal, v'hakadosh. V'al, shechasanu, v'kiyamot, not tonu. Blessings and thanks are your great and holy names who have given us life and sustained us.
Right, so here we acknowledge that Hechisanu, you've given us Chayim, Vikiyamtanu, and you've maintained us. We continue. You've given us life, and you've continued to maintain us in life. So we give brach, we give blessings and odos as acknowledgments and thanks. L'shimcha hagadol, to your great name, the Kodesh and holy name.
What does sustained mean? Does it mean that He has kept us in existence?
Right. Right.
And does it also mean that He has allowed us to multiply?
Okay, right, in a certain sense, because
Eventually we'd all die out if we didn't.
if there wasn't that, then there wouldn't be any kiyum. There wouldn't be any continuity. Kiyum means to maintain. After the initial creation, there's a continuing maintenance.
Okay, Giyana, Usakinenu, Vesel, Duratenu, Lahatras, Kapshekop. So may you continue to give us life and sustain us. Go further, and gather our exiles to the courtyards of your sanctuary. The Shemoneh, Pukecha, V'asas, V'tzonecha, V'latachal, V'levo, Shalem, Al, Shamatim, Rabin, gather us, our exiles, to the courtyards of your sanctuary, to observe your decrees, to do your will, and to serve you wholeheartedly. And Modim, Movavi, Baruch, Tel, Hadaos. And thank you for inspiring us to thank you.
Okay, well. So here at the end of this Modim, the Rabbanim, we make a switch over here. We switch from thanking Hashem for what He has done already so far, that you have given us life and you've maintained us in life. That's all thanks and gratitude and acknowledgement of all the good that we have received. Then we say, Kain, Zechayenu Eskamenu. So too, Hashem, please continue to maintain us in life. So that's already not, properly speaking, it's not simply just thanks. That is a bakasha already. That is a request. That's a request already. That's a prayer.
And why is it not? It seems to be part of Yerushalayim Recha. would be the right place to make that request.
Oh, then you're talking about then he all of a sudden he's talking about then while we're making requests for our life to continue in life, then we make a totally we're saying it's not wouldn't even seem to be part of the subject of being thankful at all. We were thankful for what? For our lives that you've given us. Oh, please, Hashem, continue us while we're on the subject of our lives, and we thank you and appreciate so much that you've given us life. Now we'd like to request that you continue to do what you've been doing.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's
because that's the subject of our thanks. The subject of our thanks is the life that you've given. And then we seem to go into a
I mean, it's almost a repetition of the question we made earlier in the middle section.
Because that is the one that we just got through saying before we got to the Modim.
Mm-hmm.
That the prayer before Modim is the prayer called Avoda.
Mm-hmm.
Say that we request that Hashem return the Beis Hamikdash and the Avoda in the Beis Hamikdash, and that we be zocha to see Hashem's return to the.
But we already said that.
It would seem that we already finished that. We made our request, and now we're in a whole new. Now we're in Modim, right?
So the question is why are we making the requests in Modim? It seems to be the wrong place to be making them. Plus, in some sense we already made them. In both between Yerushalayim and in Esrei, we've asked to be able to return to be able to serve in the Beis Hamikdash. So it's a repetition of what we've already said. And then the question is, why do we say Modim D'Rabbanan in the first place?
Yeah.
Why is it structured the way it is? Since it's structured very differently than Modim in the Shemoneh Esrei is.
And is that something is the answer to your question to do with the title Modim D'Rabbanan? Who is saying this?
Modim D'Rabbanan is just giving credit to the ones who
wrote it.
They were the ones that I think it's an abstract of different combinations, different phrases of the Chazal.
So are we repeating what they say, or are we saying this on our behalf?
Well, they composed they composed these prayers, and they were incorporated in the Shemoneh Esrei. So we're saying their words, just like when we say, we also don't say our own words in the Shemoneh Esrei, right? We say the words of Anshe Knesset Gedolah.
Okay, but this is specifically titled that it comes from the volume.
That's just, I think, not to confuse it with the Modim that's said in the Shemoneh Esrei. I mean, we could have said Modim of the Chazoras Hashatz. We could have called it that.
So why then?
Modim is Modim, Stam. We don't have to specify where that is. It's in the Shemoneh Esrei, just like all the other prayers are.
So
And this one, we said Modim, the Chazoras Hashatz.
So why isn't this put in?
Why does it say Modim D'Rabbanan?
So this Modim Rabbanim could have been incorporated into the Modim anyway. It could have been.
Could have been part of it.
It could have been just one long.
Why didn't they put it?
Why
If they wanted to add something, they could have just added it on to the Modim of the Shemoneh Esrei.
Right.
Ah, very good. Good question. Very good. Okay. That's okay. So now we have homework.
No, you have. I'm not going to do it. wouldn't know where to
Well,
look.
if you ask the question, you're not interested in the answer to the question.
Yes, but I'm interested in I'm specifically interested in Rabbi Levitt's take on this. I wouldn't know where to look.
That was what a Rosh Hashiva once said to his Talmidim after the shir. He says, "You know what the difference between us is? You, after the shir, you go out and you go to the bathroom, you get ready for a mincha, or you talk, or whatever you do. And I'm still thinking about these questions. They're bothering me." Okay, so very good.
Sorry, Ian.
Sorry, Ian, we gotta see, come up with some
Sorry?
answers.
Finish the bottle of drink.
Oh yeah, okay.